and it works. And share the screen. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I'm going to Jennifer Johnson, and welcome, Jennifer Johnson. I'm a certified Canfield trainer and a relationship marketing coach, and that is my phone number. That's my email, and I'm also the founder of Ttr Networking, which I know some of you already know all about that. So glad that you're here today. And you might have seen this out. This was today is, if you don't know it, which I think most of us do, even though it's absolutely awful here in Indiana, it is Groundhog Day 2222. And I don't know how many of you saw that, but he did see his shadow. So it's 6 weeks more of winter, and it's kind of a bummer. Although, who knows, we might be stuck in this snow that's coming for 6 weeks more. I hope not. That's ridiculous. But I said, this is what we're going to cover today. This is, we're going to talk about 5 creative ways to make new business connections. That's one of the things we're going to talk about here in a little bit. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about me. I'm being a certified Canfield coach. I am a trainer, actually, I'm a certified Canfield trainer with the Jack Canfield program that you might say, well, what the heck is that? If you haven't heard of Jack Canfield, I'll chat a little bit about him in a little bit, but he's pretty well known, and you'll probably say, oh yeah, I know what that is. And then relationship marketing coach, which I basically help business owners connect, follow up, and build stronger relationships with their prospects, clients, and employees. I started Ttr Networking, which if you want to go to ttrnetworking.com, you can find us there. And some of you are members, and we're an industry exclusive network of networking groups that meet weekly to build each other's businesses. And we also give back to I used to say local nonprofits. They don't have to be local now because we're connected digitally with everybody. So things like that are working out really, really, really well with the digital world. I became a Success Principles trainer 3 years ago because a lot of our networking groups and a lot of what we talk about with our networking groups are the same things that the Success Principles talk about. We're going to talk about a few of them real quickly here today. We're not going to cover them all because there's 67 of them, but we are going to dig in just a little bit. But I also have been part of relationship marketing world through a company called Sundout Cards, which is now called Greener Still, but it's all about building relationships. And there is an intersection there, and we're going to talk about that a little bit here in a minute. But I am curious if you could put in the chat your name, your email, and what do you hope that you might get out of this webinar? What are you curious about? And like I said, please include your email because I do want to follow up with you if I haven't already made connection with you. So, but anyway, we're going to go on. I am amazed that my technology is working so far. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so Jack Canfield, I took a picture of my book. I could show you my book. If you don't know who Jack Canfield is, he's an award-winning speaker and internationally recognized leader in personal development and peak performance strategies. He actually is responsible for Chicken Soup for the Soul books. I know that Angie's on here. I know Angie tells the story too, but the Chicken Soup for the Soul, he had to go to 144 publishers before somebody would actually publish his Chicken Soup for the Soul. And if you are familiar with that series of books, it's in multiple languages. It's career every career, every industry you could think of is probably covered. I mean, it's for the young soul, it's for the young or the teenage soul, for the everything. I actually, like I said, I found the success principles about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. I trained in this over the holidays that year, pre-pandemic. Did it online, took me 6 months to do it, but I loved everything that I did. And the success principles, if you're not familiar with it, there's 67 success principles. I can't speak. 67 of them. Now, we're not going to cover them today. I already said that, but 2 of his principles he talks about in his own writings, just talking about rejection. If he'd given up after being rejected by 143, I think it was 144 is when they actually gave him they were willing to publish his book. He said, rejection. If you believe in what you're doing, then nobody can talk you out of it. You're just going to have to keep working until you find that person or that company that will work with you. The other one is one that I know we all talk about. Some will, some won't. Say next or go on to the next one. He basically says, no, go to the next one. Don't spend time with those that are negative. I don't know, you've all probably heard that. We're all in sales of some sort, and that is a big thing. You just can't waste your time on people that are not aligned with what you're doing. So the first success principle, I want to dig into this for just a minute, is, and this is probably one of the hardest ones, and I'm sure this is why he has it as number 1, but you are 100% responsible for your life. And the basically the decisions that you make are going to affect the outcome. Now, I don't know how many of you like that thought, but you have to accept that life circumstances are within your control. And you have to operate that way. You have to operate with this. The idea is event plus response equals the outcome. Now, there are bad things that happen to good people. So sometimes bad events happen. People get cancer. People, let's see, I mean, there's a number of, I was saying this earlier. You have to pay taxes. People would say, I don't have a choice in that. No, you do have a choice. You cannot pay. But if you don't pay, they're probably going to come to your house eventually with a gun and they're going to arrest you or whatever. But you make a conscious effort or a conscious choice whether to respond certain ways to an event. You can, anyway, so the event plus response equals the outcome. You have control over everything. I get not wrapped up, but I love the word success. And one of the cool things today from this program that I'm going to send you in an email just for attending is what we have on our website. It's at the ttrnetworking.com website, but it's literally, it's called Zig Ziglar's Little PDF of Big Quotes. And I was looking on there because success on there, he has a number of quotes. And everybody, we had this program last year, and we sat and talked in our groups about what success means to each person in the group. And everybody has their own definition, really. But these are a couple quotes by Zig Ziglar about success. Too many people spend more time planning how to get the job than on how to become productive and successful in that job. I mean, it's one thing to get the job, but then you have to have a plan of how to succeed in that job. A couple more quotes. You enhance your chances for success when you understand that your yearning power is more important than your earning power. And I would say those people in our networking organization, I hope that we all talk about that. I mean, I think that comes through. So many people are so passionate about what they do in our network, and it's really exciting to see that. So when you get that in your mind, success is a different has a different, it's a different definition for all of us. But one more, he says, when we clearly understand that there is no superior sex or superior race, we will have opened the door of communication and laid the foundation for building winning relationships with all people in this global world of ours. There's much more in here about a number of other subjects. And like I said, I'm going to send it to you. But I started to, when I was doing the Success Principles training, I realized, and obviously everything here is, it really goes back to you, the relationship you have with everybody else. It starts with you. Success starts with you. Renee Brown brings, and I don't know how many of you know who Renee Brown is. I have read and I listened to a lot of books on Audible, maybe, I think, Audible. And I've listened to a couple of her books. I think it was Daring Greatly, but I've heard great things about the gifts of imperfection. But Renee Brown is American professor, researcher. She is the author of 5 #1 New York Times best-selling books. She does research on courage, vulnerability, shame, and empathy. And I think it said that she's been studying those things for 2 decades. One thing that it kept coming up is connection is why we're here. We are hardwired to connect with others. It's what gives purpose and meaning to our lives. And without it, there is suffering. So I think that was what kept coming back to me as I'm doing the Success Principles training and the relationship marketing training. It was all literally, it all comes back to you, and you have to be connected to other humans to have the success principles even work. Our network has not survived almost 11 years in this last 2 years because people aren't connected. It's because they are. And we're a lot more than just friends. A lot of the people, yeah, we started here in Indiana, but we now have people all over the place that are part of our network. And if I hear one time a day or 1 week, no, I'm saying once a day, I hear the word connection. I hear it 10, 15 times with our networking or relationships. Those are the 2 words. And different relationships with different people, but we're talking about business relationships here and the connection. You're not going to be successful if you have no connection with other human beings. I mean, that, and according to Renee, that's why we're here, connection. So getting past that one, this is another book. This is The Human Connection. You can't see it very well. Maybe you can, because my vision is a little bit distorted. But The Power of Human Connection. And it's literally all about relationship marketing. And yes, the author of this book is the founder of Send Out Cards, which is now Greener Still. But I'm not here to sell you send out cards. I'm here to talk about the human connection and how important that is to our success. Like I've said over and over again today, and I'll probably say it a few more times, is that you're the intersection of relationship marketing and the success principles. It's all up to you to make it work. So when we talk about relationship marketing, I actually had conversations prior to putting this together. Relationship marketing is the business. I want you to think about it in the business sense. But it's building relationships is really interchangeable. But we want to talk about our relationship marketing today. But literally, relationship marketing focuses on cultivating deeper, more meaningful relationships with clients and referral partners, everybody, more than 80% of the time. If you're always building relationships to ensure long-term satisfaction and brand loyalty, you won't have to worry about marketing. You should always be going above and beyond to surprise and delight your your referral partners, your clients, your prospects, your friends, your family, everybody. You should always be going above and beyond. I mean, it all comes back to you and the effort you put in. So as I say there, but first you must work on the relationship with you or yourself, others, and then your business. Our Success Connect course we did last year, that's what we talked a lot about. And this is where you have to start with yourself. And how do you do that? I would actually just throw out there, if you didn't hear this, and I heard this a couple times this week, 87% of what you are exposed to is negative. 87% is negative. And there's there's statistics about children that they start out, not hearing anything negative. Everything they do, they're doing, with the joy, and they start getting people telling them no. And, it doesn't take very long before, they're not that young, happy child anymore. They're that 87% starts when you're very young, is what I'm basically saying. So 13% of the time you're hearing positives. So what do you have to do? You have to focus on the relationship with you first. And how do you do that? We're going to talk about it in I got my tongue's all tied. Success Connect. We're going to talk about this in our mastermind group that is starting in a month. But we're going to focus a lot on the relationship with yourself. And like I said, how do you do that? You have to put positive in. You have to put more positive in. You have to find positive podcasts, affirmations we worked on last year a long time. And since then, I've actually found out that affirmations, there's an order to affirmations that, and I don't know how many of you have done affirmations, but affirmations sometimes can be almost too big, or they can be too much. And if you do them in a certain order, they actually help you believe, they help you be in that, get there easier, if that makes sense. And we'll talk about that. But so affirmations, and one of the things today, though, that I did promise was 5 creative ways, and actually I put 5+ creative ways to make new business contacts. And these are on Zoom or in person. And you'll see when I bring the next slides up that some of them are more focused for in-person events, or, networking with others in a, one-to-one, and the others might work better on a Zoom or on a digital platform. But let's just go with this. And I started out thinking, I want to do 5, but then I had a few more than that. So here you go. Number 1, and it may seem like, well, I know that, but number 1, smile and make eye contact. I don't know how many of you are, this Zoom world is kind of, it can be uncomfortable. And there's a lot of things out there about, it's kind of out of our comfort zone. But when you're on a Zoom call, it really is nice to be able to, if you're, you're still doing a one-on-one, you're still live, it's not a recorded thing. So when you're looking, smile, make eye contact. Maybe if you look at, I know there's people on the call that have really cool things.
Janice, right?
Hey, Janice. There are people in, we're gonna keep going here and we'll get to that. But at the end, or not, I'm sorry, there are people here on the Zoom call here today.
Yes, I can hear you.
That are actually, let's see, I think we might need to mute that. I don't know. Okay, well, all right, we'll keep going. But anyway, smile and make eye contact. Doesn't matter if you're in person or not. If you are,
Thank you.
let's see.
I tried to do it online, but
Hold on one second, everybody.
I'm sending her a message, Jennifer.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so smile and make eye contact. Doesn't matter if you're on Zoom or you're meeting somebody at the coffee shop. I don't care. Smile, smile. Number 2, now this is one of the, say hello, express positive greetings, open doors, give people the parking space, and let people in when you're in traffic. Obviously, can't do that on Zoom, but you can. And I've heard a lot of people on our Zoom networking meetings, I've heard a lot of them say, oh no, you go first. You go first. You know, it's the same thing we would do in person, but I have a hard time. Sometimes I know I'll be on a call with Linda or Nicole and I'll be kind of like, oh, this day has just been awful. People don't want to hear that. Although if they ask you, you can always share that. I mean, being authentic and being genuine is not a bad thing. Sharing if they ask, but maybe that's not the first thing you share with them. All right, so we're going to go on now. Like I said, listen more. No, I didn't say that, but listen more than you speak. I'm speaking a lot today. Have you ever met somebody that never lets you say a word? Or on the other side, have you ever met somebody that wants to know all about what you're doing? And they don't even really, they ask you more questions than you ask them. I mean, we have a member of our networking group that I tell the story all the time. He's actually a leader of one of our groups. He, for about 2 months, I think it took me a long time to even figure out what he does because he never told me, which was okay. And turns out that we ended up doing business with him because he wasn't all about himself. He actually asked me more questions and I was like, wow, this is really cool. So listen more than you speak. You should be, what is the thing? You should be interested more than interesting. You should be listening, even on Zoom, doesn't matter. Number 4, celebrate people with pictures, gifts, written words daily. Of course, I do send out cards and I would love to share that with all of you. And I hope I will be able to do that. But, you know, like we have people, Angie is on the call. I know she posts things with pictures and, you know, do that for other people too. And Angie does that. We do that for our networking members. If we can send these, you know, send good vibes to our networking members, even though we're not all meeting in person, and we can get on social media and we can share things that people are doing. We have Catherine Barajas Bjork, who is a animal whisperer. She's one of our members of our network. And she has a show on Tuesdays, I believe. And it's she talks to the animals. So we were posting all over on our website or on our social media about her show. I have only been able to catch it once or twice, but it was really cool. And when I tell people we have an animal whisperer, she's also a, I can't think of what the word is, Nicole. What's the word? She's a
psychic medium.
She
does Reiki.
Yes.
So, yeah, very amazing.
Yes, it's very, but anyway, you know, we try to look for, and maybe you're not part of a network like we have, but if you can share other people's, you know, posts or, you know, share with your network. I am learning Instagram, but I know there's ways you can do it on any platform, right? So let's see, number 5, and these obviously are more online, but join Facebook and other LinkedIn groups. Those are my 2. I'm learning about Instagram. Nicole's helping me a lot with that. And we were talking this morning in our networking group about TikTok and YouTube. And we do have a YouTube channel, our networking group does, but I am learning about all of those. But if you join those groups, what should you be doing? Don't just join a group and sit there. Well, you can sit there, but you need to interact with the people in those groups, not forcing your product, but interacting to start building, because what you're doing, yes, we can't get together as we used to, but we are now able to connect with people in New Jersey or New York. And now we're, our crowd to pick from has gotten gigantic. But if you're going to do it the right way, you need to create a relationship with that person before you dump all your, your sales pitch on them. So you've got to be about that. I do have two more, I think. Here we do. Attend virtual summits and weekly webinars. Hey, you're all on this call. You're all on this webinar. So that's good. And I do hope that you've put your email into the contact information, because I am going to send that out. If for some reason you do not want to share that, let me know, and whatever. But if you're on here, I would think that you're probably interested in making some new connections. And Diana, I know Diana Manginelli is on here, and I tell people the story all the time that Diana and I met on a women's power networking thing last winter, and we were in a breakout room together. And I think I did it, Diana, I'm not sure, but I think I said, so what do you all do? And the rest of them all kind of sat there like lumps on a log, and I thought, why are they here? I think they were kind of like, oh, I don't think we're supposed to be sharing that. And I thought, well, why not? And then Diana and I connected, and then Diana joined our, she actually joined our network, and she's brought a couple other people with her. And so that was really exciting. And I would just tell you, if you're in these virtual summits or weekly webinars, you need to be, taking advantage of it, not in the, I don't think I did say something about Ttr, but I wanted to know what Diana did. I wanted to know what the other ladies do, because I have all these connections. I wanted to connect them, but whatever. It didn't work that way with all of them. But Diana turned out to be the success story that I can share. Now, the number 7, now there's all kinds of these, but number 7 is host your own event. And I know a number of you on here do that. So I am not trying to tell you something you don't know, but sometimes when you see these things written out, it's like, oh, yeah, I should do that. I really, really should. How do you make better connections with others? And it's really been interesting to watch, because a lot of our networking people have started to do their own events. And I'm, not that I had anything to do with it, but they obviously know it's about relationships. So we're all stuck on Zoom, or we're all stuck on whatever platform they're on, but they're not letting that stop them, and they're getting it together. One thing I would say, I had made a note to myself, when the pandemic world shut us down, I guess it did shut us down. We stopped meeting in person, but then we started meeting online almost immediately. It took maybe our groups a couple of weeks. We had 1 or 2 leaders that couldn't handle it, and I don't know why, but we lost them in the shuffle, and then Nicole came in and a couple other people, and it worked out really well. But we moved to Zoom, and we always had a speed networking event that we did every quarter. And I was like bound and determined we were going to still do that. And we did it online. Now, a couple of you that are on the call you very well might have been part of that, and just humor me a little bit. I think it worked out okay. If it was really horrible, I'm sorry, but it was my first time trying to do that. We did breakout rooms. And no matter how uncomfortable it might be, you need to go outside of your comfort zone. You need to step out. You need to do something. And hosting your own event, I get very excited when I get in our networking group meetings, because I don't have to everybody in the group wants to help each other. So what I do is I don't have to lead it like I'm doing right now. Most of the time, if I ask questions, the group takes over, the people take over, the wealth of knowledge that we have in these groups, and the serving and giving people that are in these groups just make me, it just makes me really excited that we have found this group of people. And the doors are always open, and I'd love to help you if you're looking for a group. But I just wanted to share that speed networking. I have talked to the leaders about trying to do that again this year, because I think it was so new to me. I was like, oh my gosh, and we had so many things we were doing. So I think that's on the horizon. I do want to talk about those 5 things, those 5+ things that we just went through. We're going to send you that in a, we're going to send it to you in the mail, and I can't tell you anything more about that except that it will be on its way very soon, and we're going to need your address. So it's not an email. You're going to get it in the physical sense in the mail. So if you have a problem sharing your address, please send it to me separately at my jennifer@totherescuein.com, and I can bring it back up in a little bit, but that is going to be to you. Today, though, we are going to go over a little bit more, or not a little bit more, a little bit about what Success Connect Mastermind really is. And if you've ever been in a mastermind, you know that there's a power there that you can't get in anything else. Nicole, in a minute, let me go through this first, and then I'll have you put that up, okay? Let's see. I have a couple things, and I'm going to send you some more information, but Success Connect Mastermind is TTR's mastermind program. We've done the last couple of years, we've had 2 mastermind groups that have been awesome. And then we had a Success Connect no, we didn't. It was Success Connect last year that went really well. And I know a few of you that are on the call have been part of that. What we're doing is we're going to intertwine them. And we are going to launch this on March the 2nd, which is exactly a month from now. And you know what? I don't know if today was Groundhog Day. On March the 2nd, all we've got is, it's Read Across America Day, but whatever. We're going to get together, we're going to launch this. But why would you want to join Success Connect Mastermind? It's an exclusive community, and we've got a number of bonuses that are going to come to anybody that joins. There are certain things you're going to get today just for being on this call today. And then if you sign up to join us, you will get some other things. And we're still there. Thank you, Diana. If you want to text me, if you know my number and you want to send me that, you're awesome. Thank you. But we also have, if you've not been in a mastermind, they're relatively new to most people, even though Napoleon Hill actually created the concept around 75 years ago in his book, Think and Grow Rich. Basically, a mastermind group is designed to help you navigate through challenges using the collective intelligence of others. And if you really go back to the whole thing about a mastermind, there is I want to say spiritual, there is a spiritual element of it. It's the master, whatever you believe is the greater power, there is a greater power that is there. And when people get together to share ideas and work together, there's something magical that happens. So how does a mastermind, I'm reading, and I'll go back to the list in just a minute, but how does a mastermind group work? It's a group of smart people. You're all smart people. Don't think you're not. Who meet weekly, monthly, daily, even if it makes sense to tackle challenges and problems together. I know a number of you have been part of masterminds already. You lean on each other, you give advice, you share connections, and you do business with each other when it is appropriate. A lot of our groups in our network, Ttr Networking, there is masterminding that goes along. This is a deeper dive. this is much more. We're going to go through the success principles. We're going to intertwine the relationship marketing, and we're going to have some really cool collaboration. This extends your network. There's no question that the people that you're now going to talk to in your mastermind are now their network's going to open up to you, because that's what we do. When you get a warm connection going with somebody new, they tend to want to share your information with their network. Now, that doesn't happen overnight. That's why we meet on a weekly basis, and we're going to really dig in and learn the basics of all of this together. But it's an extension of your network. I put learning on steroids because there's a number of people. I've already asked a couple people to be our presenters or help with this, and there's still some that I'm going to reach out to. But Linda Lewis with Cash Overlooked is on here, and she is going to actually she is going to be presenting content. Part of your bonuses for joining Success Connect Mastermind is a product and a service that Linda does. And to anybody that joins us in Success Connect Mastermind, it's free, and it's coming up in a minute. So we've got other people. I'm so excited because there's people that we've had speak in the past that I just wanted to get this launched on March the 2nd, and we'll get them scheduled the next few weeks. If you sign up today, I'm going to be sending out emails. Even if you don't, I'm probably going to bug you, because I think anybody that's on here should be part of Success Connect Mastermind. I think it's going to change your world. Cross promotion, that's more of the opening up your network to other people. I mean, my network is an open book. If I meet somebody, I'm going to share all these people. We have about 100. I'm not going to share all these people, share connections with all of my new people. We have about 100 people part of Ttr Networking, but think about all the people they know. We're going to be thinking bigger and stretching beyond and much more. So Nicole, if you want to put the link in the chat, I'm going to go to the next. So what are we going to cover? This is just, there's so much. Linda, as I mentioned, Linda Lewis is on the call. Thank you, Linda. She's even in Greenville, Ohio, I think. Traveling today when the weather is, it still hasn't started snowing, but Linda is going to be doing 1 week a month. So we are kind of going back and forth, but we have either 4 or 5 weeks. We're going to start on March the 2nd, and we do meet weekly at 4 p.m. Eastern. Now, you're not required to be on the calls, but I'll tell you, if you're part of a mastermind, you start really wanting to be on the calls because you get so much from being there. We will record them. There will be a Facebook group. The people who've been in the past, we still have a Facebook group from our Success Connect that we did I guess it was a year ago. But what are we going to cover? We're going to decide what you want. We're going to go through, a lot of this is the Success Principles by Jack Canfield, but we're going to pick those out, and then Linda's going to present during that month. She's going to give us some business tools to use that will connect with what we're doing. So I'm just going to read through these. You can do it yourself, I'm sure, but deciding what you want and how to get it or how to get there. Discovering and defining your purpose, your life purpose statement. We did this a little bit with our mastermind. It's tricky. It really is tricky. But when you start looking at it, you're like, whoa. There's things and all of us are here to make a difference. There's no question. We're going to learn different principles that help us with the law of attraction. Take it from me, what you send out comes back to you. What you focus on grows. What you appreciate appreciates. That's all part of the law of attraction. We're going to talk about that. relationship building and relationship marketing. We're going to talk about what's the difference. We kind of touched on it today. There's 3 core principles of relationship building and marketing. And last year we got into it a little bit in the Success Connect that we did. But there's so much to that we didn't touch on. Developing key habits for continuing success. Our one networking group right now is doing, I'm not laughing, it's the Atomic Habits book. I don't know if anybody's, Cleary, I think, is the author, and we're reviewing it, but he's all about breaking down habits, and he says, don't even look at goals. Don't even, just do the systems and the systems and the programs, or the little teeny things. If you get them in place, the other stuff will come. A couple of years ago, we had a big thing. We were talking about goals, and everybody has what they say are goals, but when you don't meet those goals, you tend to miss the point that you're further along than you were when you started. And if you look at it as small little atoms or atomic habits and see what you're doing, and you can appreciate more where you are. I hope that makes sense. But releasing the brakes and overcoming the fear. So what keeps you from doing the stuff? What keeps you from being successful? We talked about it last year, and I was actually pleasantly surprised that our Success Connect group that we did last year, nobody had any fear about anything. They don't have any fear, but I'm not thinking that's normal. I think they were exceptional. But why don't we do things? Why do we say we should do this, but why don't? It's fear. And what's holding you back? You've got to release the brakes, understanding the power of goal setting, and then taking action to get measurable results. I say goal setting in there. Do you think it's good to have big goals, but they have to be realistic, and then you have to break them down. And so much more we're going to talk about. But all intertwined in this is the human element of relationship marketing. You can do all of this, be the smartest person on the planet, but if you don't know how to relate to other humans, you don't know how to connect with others. I think that's been my biggest learning thing throughout this running Ttr networking is that I want everybody to see things the way I do. They don't, but I am so happy they don't, because if they had, there's so many things we wouldn't have done as a network. So I am really excited. So today, I hope you guys can see that. So bonuses for attending today, we're not quite done yet, but the 5+ creative ways to make new business connections and we did have 7 of them. That is something just for being on the call today. And please make sure you put your email in there. I'm going to save the chat when I get back to that screen, but for attending today, 5+ creative ways to make new business connections, free 30-minute discovery session with me. It's about $250 for the half hour. I do have a coaching program that I love to tell you about, but we have I mentioned send out cards. You get a free send out card send out cards account. If that's something you would like, we'll definitely set you up with that. Free relationship building challenge. That's an email I'm going to send you. Basically gives you some prompts every day that you can do to build your relationships. I'm not going to give you, but it's every day, and it's stuff that's kind of out of the ordinary. So I'll get that to you. And I'm also going to send you the free Zig Ziglar's little PDF of big quotes. The success definition that I read at the beginning, or not definition, but his quote about success, those couple were out of that book. And like I said, our website lady put that on our website 10 years now. I guess we've had a website 7 years, 8 years. When she put it on there, I didn't really look at it, and I've been looking at it lately. And I'm like, So now the Success Connect Mastermind doors are open. Nicole, if you could put that back in the chat again, again, and again, and again. But that is the link, and special bonuses for signing up for Success Connect today. If you decide to do it, you get a free profit acceleration roadmap with Linda Lewis, who is on here, and that is free, but it's a $9.97 value. So this is a really awesome, and I will tell you firsthand that she's made all the difference in my business since I've started working with her. So thank you, Linda. I hope you're still on here. She was having some internet connection issues in Ohio where she was. And then a free referral runway digital business card and membership. And I can tell you more about that. But if you sign up for our program with Success Connect Mastermind, that is one of the bonuses, which I don't know about you, but everything I read out there right now, digital business cards are a major thing. I am right now trying to really convince, and not everybody, but I'm still trying to get our network of Ttr members. The younger they are, they seem to be really comfortable with it. Some of the older people are having a little bit, they're not quite sure how to use this digital business card, but I'm sending it out to everybody. So that is part of the thing, the bonuses. I guess I would just leave it. Are there any questions? Because I know we've got a few more minutes. Any questions for anybody? Everybody's just wonderfully comfortable. They know exactly what we're going to do. Any questions? Am I missing it?
So Jennifer, you're going to send us emails. You're going to send us an email with goodness. And then you ask for our addresses because you're going to send us something in the mail.
Right.
And the goal is the big kickoff in a month from today.
Right. So if you are here today, more than likely, there's Jackie. Hey, Jackie, I love how you spell your name. Thank you. Not more than likely. If you're here today, I am going to, even if you don't sign up, although there's so many good things about signing up today, you're going to start getting, we're going to have some assignments. Yes, I put that in quotations, but some things that you can start preparing because when we launch it on March the 2nd, we're going to, start from those things. So yes, we're going to mail you in the mail, physical mail, and then you're going to have some emails, and don't be surprised if you get some emails probably once a week, as well as you'll probably see some things that are out there just promoting this, because I am ready to go. And we've got Linda lined up to be one of our presenters. And I know I've asked a couple other people, and I guess I would just, anybody else got any questions?
Jennifer, there's a question
Yes.
from Angie McHale.
Yes.
Where can we find the replay of today to send to people?
Oh, awesome. Okay. Well, actually, as soon as I hit the stop record, Angie, I will upload it and I'll send it out. I'm going to follow up with an email because I'm going to send everybody the Zig Ziglar book. You have to read this thing because as you read through, it's pretty cool. But I'm going to I'm going to send you Zig Ziglar's book, as well as the relationship building challenge that I mentioned. And I'll send you out the link to this as well. So feel free. And then we will probably, Nicole, I think we'd be posting it on our social media, and feel free to do that. Anybody, I guess, any questions? My husband actually found that. I thought that was kind of a cute slide.
I like it.
We're doing pretty well time-wise. Is there anybody, I figured we would be here until about 5. Our Success Connect Mastermind will start promptly at 4. we will be done by 5. If you were part of the Success Connect it wasn't called Mastermind, it was Success Connect last year. We had some things that we made part of that. We had some meditation, which Nicole did a great job, and had some other people that stepped in. I'm not sure that that's going to be part of it. There are our mastermind that we had last winter, literally just a couple months ago, ended up. We did some other really cool things, and I think we're just going to see who all signs up for this. I mean, and whether that is something that they want to do. So I don't know. I'll leave it at that, but I will.
Jennifer, we have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
Jackie is asking, did you say there's a new topic presentation focus weekly? That's a great question. Is it weekly? Is it monthly?
Well, okay, so that is a great question, Jackie. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm glad to see everybody's face. So what we're going to do is there's 67 success principles. And I'll tell you, some of them are as boring as heck, but we're going to group them together. But every meeting or every month, we're going to have a topic that we're going to break down. So Linda she's going to be presenting on either probably the second or the third week of the month. And she's all about business. So I might and she looks like she's taking a minute away, but I might let her give just a little insight into what she's going to do. But every week we have interaction. We're going to do some breakout rooms. We've got the mastermind thing in itself. Has anybody been in a mastermind? Janice, you've been in all kinds of stuff. Karen and Jerry, you guys, are you still in your thing for your Melaleuca?
We know what, we stopped for a while, we'll be starting again soon.
Okay, so Janice, you've done great. And I know you guys have raved about that, Karen and Jerry. Janice, you've done so many things. Are you in a mastermind now?
No, not right now.
But you were in our mastermind. You've been in that.
I've been in some others in the past as well.
Right. We did not dig in as well as I wanted. Angie, you're all over the place. I don't mean to say it that way. You've got so many different things going. Are you you're in like a mentorship group with your Ever, right? No?
Yeah, there's always something going on with my company masterminding.
Yeah.
But I did one independent of any organization in 2019, and then I did the TTR Mastermind and Success Connect.
Yes, what I really get excited about is that there's so many things. And when Linda said she would participate in this, she would be part of it, I was like, yes. So I don't know, Jackie, if that answers your question, but every week we will have different things to do. And Linda popped on at the right moment. We've got about 3 minutes. Linda, do you want to share just a minute, like what you're going to be sharing, or, at least a little overlook?
Yeah, so I'm really excited about this because with Jennifer sharing the relationship and the personal side of building the business, then the parallel track to that is what's the business side of building the business that relates to the personal side, because these things are so intertwined.
Right.
One without the other. And so I'll be bringing in and sharing some of the business principles about how to build the business. And so I'll do one of the presentations each month, and it'll dovetail with the topic that Jennifer has presented on in the first 2 weeks of the month. So I think it's just going to be a fabulous merging of relationships and business, and that's how business is done anyway. So this is exciting.
Well, thank you, Linda. Actually, if I don't know, did I say that earlier? I feel like I've repeated myself. I hear the word connections or relationships. I mean, not that it's a bad word, but I probably hear it 25 times a day or something. I think I just increased it, didn't I? Okay, but that's the truth. It's amazing. I would just, let me see, there was a thought that I had. Does anybody else have a question? Anything? Joe, I didn't say hello to you, and Nancy, I think you jumped on too late. So I'm not trying to point you out. I'm just saying I didn't get to say hello. So good to see everybody. Thank you, Nicole, for putting that out there. I will send this out. If you did not add your email, if I don't have an address for you, I'm going to probably reach out to you because I mean a physical address, and I'm going to go in and save the chat. This morning, we had this really big group. Hey, Janice, you were on that call this morning. Where's Janice? Oh, there she is. We had a really good call with 2 of our groups that had a combined meeting, and it really went well. So it's very exciting. Thank you so much for being on. Anybody have any thoughts or anything that they would like to? Nicole, did I meet anything?
No, I'm so excited. Everything. It sounds wonderful. It sounds wonderful, and I'm so glad to meet Jackie and Joe and see friends. So from the TTR and various things, and I know you put your heart and soul in your projects, and just very excited for this.
You know, Jesse, I got to give you credit. I don't know where everybody else is. Joe, I don't know where you. Jesse's sitting in Florida right now on this webinar with us. Is she crazy or what? But she's not sitting. She's walking.
It's a very smart. A very smart move on my end.
I was gonna say yes, and Diana Manginelli was on just a little bit ago too, and she was, I don't know, I think she popped on once or twice since then, but I'm very excited, and you guys as the first people, like I said, if you already know me, you're probably saying, I don't want to sit down and talk with her for 30 minutes. I might be able to give you some hints on what you can do, and we'd be very happy. And who do you know out there that really should be part of this? It doesn't matter if they have an operating business that they're trying to work, or maybe I had a lady signed up today, and I'm sorry that she's not here at the moment, but she's starting a business. I was really excited. So I'm going to share that with her. It's the fundamental stuff. It's what we need to do. And like I said, I am so excited you're here. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you have any questions, please let me know. If anybody wants to stick around, I'm not going to end this. I'm going to stop the recording, make sure I've got everybody. Okay. And I'm going to, there we go. We're going to turn off the stuff.